Hey everyone, so these are the brand new 2021 Amazon Fire HD10 and the HD10 Plus here, and these are going to be my actual real thoughts on these devices. I'm not sponsored in any way whatsoever. So these are all my own thoughts. I bought both of these with my own money here, so these are my own thoughts on these. So first, a few differences here. The Non Plus gives you 3 gigabytes of RAM. The Plus will give you 4 gigabytes of RAM. In the US, this is $150 for the non-Plus, $180 for the Plus version here. The Plus version will give you wireless charging. This one will not. So if you need a tablet that has wireless charging, then you'll have to spend the extra $30 and get the Plus version here. The non-Plus version comes in 4 different colors, including, I think this is the coolest one, the olive green. It's just really cool looking. And then the buttons up top are also the same color. Very cool. Then, I won't be able to show you this too well as I have the case on, but this one is just slate, just like the 2020 Amazon Fire HD8 Plus. It only comes in slate, and that's it. One option if you want the Plus. Don't know why they did that, but that is how they did it. Again, just like last year for the HD8 Plus. For this year, compared to 2019, they moved the camera to the side here instead of being up top. And on top of that, they made the top and bottom bezels a little bit smaller. The sides still seem to be about the same from 2019, which you can see here. So you can see this is quite big and bulky, but about the same on the side there. And on top of that too, they changed up the aspect ratio. So this 2019 is taller, but not as wide. And let me tell you, I really do like this new aspect ratio better than this old one. To me, it just looks a bit more premium. It looks of higher quality. This one just looks more like a... I do like this device, don't get me wrong, but it just looks more like a kid's device, where these look more like, well, a higher end device. But that is, again, my own thoughts on that. Yeah, I absolutely love the aspect ratio on these new ones. They remind me a bit more of an iPad. You guys let me know, what do you think? What do you think of the new aspect ratio? Again, I really like these. So, like I said, this now has 4 gigabytes of RAM. This one has 3. The 2019 version here, this only had 2 gigabytes of RAM. But as far as we can tell, they all have the same processor in them, which is a MediaTek processor, which isn't bad. It just isn't as good as, say, what's in the iPad, and it really isn't as good as what is in the Samsung Tab A7. You know, it's pretty dang close. If you want to see a speed comparison, check out my channel between these and the A7. But yeah, so these are both rocking the same processor as what was in the 2019 version, which is a shame because for 2020, they did upgrade the processor that was in the HD8 and HD8 Plus from its previous generation. So I wish it would have done it here. But again, this one is good, unless you're trying to do something super crazy on it that these aren't really made for anyway, like 4K video editing or something like that. You can download the Google Play Store, as you see right here. If you want to know how, just check out my channel or just do a simple Google search, and it takes 5-10 minutes to do, and you get the Google Play Store. But with that said, there are some apps you cannot get from this Google Play Store for whatever reason. There are 2 apps that I know of, and if you want me to search for an app before you buy your tablet, let me know, leave me a comment, and I will search for you and see if you can download it. 99% of the apps I've searched for, you are able to download on the Amazon Fire tablets. 2 apps that I know of are OfferUp and Pokemon Masters. For some reason, you cannot get on the Fire tablets. But like I said, most applications you can get off the Google Play Store on other Android devices, you should be able to find on here. Just leave me a comment if you want me to search for one for you. I will do so. Again, definitely highly recommend downloading Google Play Store. Otherwise, you are stuck with the Amazon App Store, which it just isn't good. For instance, the YouTube app that is on there basically brings you to like the web application instead of like a actual tablet application. It's just way worse. So do yourself a favor, download the Google Play Store. it makes this tablet 100 times better than not doing so. Alright, I want to talk about one more thing here really fast that I've noticed a difference between these two before I forget to mention it here, and maybe yours is different, maybe mine's just weird, but is the buttons up top here. So we have the volume rocker, and then we have the power button, and then you have a USB Type-C, and you have a headphone jack here. So for some reason, you guys let me know if you bought one of these, if yours is the same way. But on the hd10, the non-plus version, the volume rocker is very weird. So like the volume, well, you just be like the volume up at the moment. It has some good feel to it, but the volume down is mushy, and it's almost like sunken into the tablet. It's not the same way on the plus. My plus feels like normal. It's nice and protruding and feels very nice and clicky. Whereas on the non-plus version, for some reason, it's very mushy. Really on both of them. It just doesn't feel right. Again, it feels like it just sank into the tablet. The power button feels good, but not this. You guys let me know. Just let me know if you guys have the same issue here. Other than that, though, they are basically, they are the same here. One more thing I wish these did that they do not do is the tap to wake. So you tap it twice, it wakes up. A lot of Android, Samsung devices do that. And these do not do that. I really wish they did. So I put the non-plus version to the side for a moment, and I just want to talk about the general use of this device. It is good if you have a 2019 version or you have any other Amazon tablet. It is all going to be the same. So you have your main home screen here. Now you have a library when you swipe to the right. This will give you a bunch of different things like your Kindle, your apps, games, Silk browser, Prime Video, whatever. Swipe to the left here, and you get the search bar up top, and then you get, well, I have weather, my recent apps, top picks for my Kindle, yada 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 yada. There's a bunch of stuff on here. They used to have a lot more, but one of the recent updates, I think it was from this year, before these even came out. They used to have like your apps, used to have like I think movies, a whole bunch of different swipe over to and you get to. But now they just kind of condense it onto your library or your For You. So it's very good, very nice. Again, if you have any other Amazon device, any other Amazon tablet, it's going to be the same. No matter, as long as you have it updated to the most recent Fire OS that you can have it updated to. Which is good. It's very simple. Everything's on one screen. You don't have to go to multiple screens to find your applications. Just up or down. And then if you really want to, you can go right or left. And you can also search as well. So this comes with Silk browser. We're going to use that real fast here. I already have it loaded to Best Buy's website here. This is very quick. Actually, for a $150 or $180 device, because again, they both have the same processor, so they're going to be the same on speed here. You can see this is a pretty dang speedy device for the price. Yeah, so this is fantastic. It is, it's quick. The screen looks very good. I do have the brightness up all the way. Usually, I will keep my brightness down to here-ish, but you guys will not be able to see that with the way my lighting is in my room. But it looks good. The darks are actually pretty dark. The whites are nice and white. The blacks are nice and black. Blue, very nice and blue. Like everything is very nice and colorful. It is 1080 resolution here. So it's nothing like 4K or anything like that. But you're not going to find that on the Samsung A7 either, which this I would say competes against there. But it's a very nice looking display. It's very, very similar to the Samsung Tab A7 on that regard. And like I said, it is actually pretty quick with Amazon's media tech that's in here. Alright, we'll do a quick Amazon search here to see. It's quick. The only website it's not quick on is Best Buy's website. I say this in pretty much every tablet video I ever make. Best Buy's website is very wonky, and I don't know why. Let's see here. This thing is pretty dang quick. So I've never been on this page yet on this tablet. So it doesn't have the memory of it, and you can see it is still very quick. And of course you can zoom in if you want. Very good. That's very nice. Very nice. Of course you can get YouTube. Again, get the Google Play Store. YouTube looks a lot better on here. So you can watch videos. You should be able to get Netflix or any of those other streaming services, and this again looks great. It's 10.1 inches, so it's not too small and it's not too large. I would say dual speakers, they sound pretty decent. They're not the loudest. They're good sounding, but they're not the loudest. They're not the best. The Samsung Tab A7 definitely wins on that aspect because this has 2, that has 4. So if you want something that is very loud, you probably want to look at the A7. But with that said, this to me is more than loud enough. I don't turn this thing up all the way pretty much ever, and it is more than fine. Unless you live in a very noisy house or something, or you're on, I don't know, on the subway, I don't probably have headphones in then. Unless you're in a very noisy area, this is more than loud enough. It sounds good. Again, just not as good as the A7, but definitely good enough. Pretty much the same as what the 2019 version sounded like. Same thing with the speed, or the volume. Then one more thing I want to talk about here is jumping back into the main display here, the main home page here, is you get a lot of bloatware. So we have Shop Amazon, Silk Browser, Amazon App Store, Prime Video, Amazon Kids, all these utilities. I'm not naming all those. Amazon Kindle, Amazon Music, Audible, News, Photos, Games, Amazon A, Goodreads, Email, Camera, Settings. Yeah, you guys get the picture there. And see, if you push and hold, as how you would delete apps, you cannot delete any of those mentioned apps here. You are stuck with all the Amazon bloatware. You cannot delete them, including the files here as well. You can only delete stuff that you have downloaded from, well, an app store. So you are stuck with all this stuff. Like me, I don't need Goodreads. I don't need Google, Amazon Games, or the photos, or a lot of this, but you're stuck with it. If you like it or not, you're stuck with it. So that is one thing to mention as well. Again, you can delete, of course, stuff you've downloaded. Alright, then I think I have about 2 more things I want to go over here, then we're going to end this video. First is multitasking. So you hit the square here, and this is brand new for the 2021 Amazon Fire hd10 and hd10 Plus, and these are the only tablets at the moment you can get this on. You cannot get this on the 2019 version, nor on the 2020 Amazon Fire HD8 or HD8 Plus. So again, you just hit the square to get to your multitasking thing here. I don't know what the word is for that. And then on the little icon up here, depending on what app you're on, so like that's the YouTube icon, browser icon, search icon. I don't know why that one's there. Swipe up to get rid of stuff, or swipe all the way over and you hit clear all, you get rid of all that. But I detract, hit the little icon, you'll see a split screen there. Split screen. Hit that, it will go to the top, whatever one you're on will go to the top. Then if you have more apps open here, you can swipe between them. I only have the browser open. Just tap it, wham bam, thank you, tablet. And you now have multitasking on the same screen. And I would say if you're going to be doing a lot of this type of stuff, or just multitasking in general, you probably want to get this guy since it has more RAM than the non-plus version, which doesn't have as much RAM. So now you can watch YouTube and web browse at the same time. And if you want to have it this way, you can do it this way as well. And then you can also make one bigger if you want. So that is very cool. I really like how they did that finally. Alright, then the last thing I want to talk about here is not with it itself, but with the case here. This is the denim blue one. There are other colors. It is a very nice looking case, very similar to the 2019 version's case. It's actually the same except for, of course, the dimensions of it, since the new one is different from the old one here in dimension wise, but it's the same material. It's very nice looking, and a little bit different with the emblems and whatnot. But I absolutely love Amazon cases. Again, I'm not sponsored in any way, but to me, these cases are the best in the industry. You can find cheaper devices, cheaper cases for these devices on Amazon. Of course, you can spend half the price or less. These are $40 in the US. These are just fantastic. So you have the folding here mechanism, and then you have, this is plastic, so it is somewhat protective. The top here again is some sort of material. I don't know what material that is, but it's nice and soft underneath here. You can see the giant crease there. You have a spot for your camera. I don't know if you ever used the camera, but you have a spot for your camera. This is plastic and it's the same color as the rest of it. So it just snaps into place here. And then again, you just fold that up, and now you can watch videos. It's like the perfect viewing angle for watching videos or typing or doing anything like that. You guys are seeing a bit skewed because the camera is above it. You can also turn it this way and you can hold it like that. So if you want to read, you can read. Fantastic. I love these cases. I just want to mention that again. It's $40 in the US. One thing I wish they would have done is, like for the 2020 Amazon Fire HD8 and HD8 Plus, they had some National Geographic ones. For some reason, though, at least when I bought mine, you only had this style. No National Geographic, just the colored one. It's still cool. I mean, it still does what I want it to do. It also has sleep wake as well. So yeah, I highly recommend getting one of these cases for your device as well. Again, you can get cheaper ones off Amazon, but they're just not as nice, in my opinion. So, let's talk about the end here. What I recommend upgrading from the 2019 version, like this one here. I would say if you need that multitasking, or if you want to keep multiple apps open at the same time and be able to switch between them without having them reload, then yes, it is definitely worth the upgrade from this guy. If you are just going to be doing basic web browsing, having one app open at a time, doing basic gaming, honestly, I don't think there's really much of a reason to do so. Again, it's the same processor, just more RAM in those. The screen is a little bit better on these two, I will say, especially if you keep it up all the way. This has light bleed through the screen. We see the light coming through, like especially on black backgrounds. You'll see the light. These are not as affected by that. But if you're just doing basic stuff and you only have an app or two open, this is probably just gonna be fine for you. If you already have this. Now, say you're buying one for the first time, you do not have the 2019 version, I would definitely get this guy, one of these guys, depending on how much RAM you really want or need. Because these are $150. This was down to like $100. I would spend the extra $50 or $80 and get the brand new ones. But if you already have this one and you are happy with it, you have no issues with it, I would just keep it. This will probably still last you a couple more years. You know, I had a 2016 HD8 for I think 4 or 5 years before I got rid of that, and it was still fine. When I got rid of it. So yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions. This dragged down a bit longer than I expected. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate you. Let me know what one of you guys are going to buy, or if you're going to buy a different tablet. Let me know that as well. As always, I appreciate you. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a good one. Goodbye.